We are live. It is working. All right, excellent. I am really excited for this. I have Candy here, and we're just going to ask her some questions, get to know her a little bit. You're going to be surprised with this, but there were a lot of people that requested this because, seeing like your newly 50K rank advancement, like people definitely want to kind of get to know you and hear your story and maybe learn something from you. So I guess the first thing would be if you just want to introduce yourself a little bit to everybody.
Hey everyone, I'm Candy. I live in South Carolina. I have three children, three amazing kids. I have three amazing stepkids. I'm a massage therapist, which I love doing. And what else can I tell you about myself? I guess that's it.
Yeah. What brought you to HempWorks, the opportunity, like how you kind of got involved with this company?
So this is how I found HempWorks. My youngest son he's 13 now. When he was 26 months old, he was diagnosed with a very severe autoimmune disease, which ravages the body and inflammation of all sorts. And about 10 years into that diagnosis, he started showing some really concerning symptoms. He would describe, that his feet felt like he was walking on glass. He said, "Mom, my hands are going numb and tingly. They hurt." I ran to the doctor. The doctor was like, "You're just being a worried mom. He's fine. Everything's great." So what do? We get online when we don't get answers from our doctors. And I started researching. I would type in, natural remedies for these symptoms, and everything kept coming up as CBD. And in my little world here in South Carolina, I had no idea what that was. I mean, I made an assumption that it was some kind of marijuana. Probably not something I would want. Definitely nothing I would want to give to one of my children. So, I was just at that place. That's just where I was coming from. So from there, I, continued to educate myself. I learned that it's from the hemp plant, that it's perfectly legal in all 50 states. It's safe, it's natural, all these things. So from there, I ordered a bottle. A friend of mine, Chris Kirkhoff on Facebook, had been posting about it, telling everybody how great it was and why they needed it in their life. So I went ahead and ordered a bottle. And actually, funny story, my first bottle arrived the day before we left for Cancun. My husband and I were going to Cancun for a week. So I threw it in the suitcase and away we went. My first 4 days in Cancun, I had a little slight headache, which is typical, you'll hear people say, as a detox symptom. We went parasailing. We did all the things. It wasn't anything horrible. And I noticed while I was there, I was sleeping amazing. Of course, my husband was taking it as well. We were both getting great sleep. And my chronic pain that I typically have in my wrists from massage was gone. But I was on vacation, so I was like, I just did not believe that it was a thing, anything to do with the CBD. So I came home. My pain in my wrists stayed gone. My sleep was still amazing. With my son's chronic illness, I have to get up and check him throughout the night. Most nights it's about twice a night. There are nights that's 4 or 5 times a night, depending on what's going on. He can have sight failures and technology issues, basically. If he ate something crazy, if he's got a growth spurt coming on, if he's getting sick, all these things can affect his numbers, and it makes me have to get up and monitor and make adjustments throughout the night. So it's not like with CBD that I'm actually sleeping any more hours. I'm just sleeping when I'm in the bed and I can sleep. I'm getting into that deep, restful REM sleep. I'm dreaming for the first time in forever. My pain in my wrist was gone. I still see clients every day, and I feel amazing. So that was my, why I did it, how I did it, and that really hooked me. But from there, the reason I got into HempWorks and decided to try the product was for my son, Christopher. And he reports, I think it was 4 days, but he says by the second day, he didn't have those pains in his hands and his feet any longer.
Wow.
Definitely by the first week, it was gone. You guys, it has not come back.
Wow.
So it's been, this is my 10th month with HempWorks, and he's been taking it 10 months. No pains in his hands and feet. So that's really how I got into it.
And that's amazing. I don't even know if I've ever even heard that full story. You and I actually have a lot of similar things that we saw. Sleep for me was one of the biggest first ones. Improvement in like my joints, that kind of stuff. So you have these, things that you saw, things that you see in your son, and then so you're like, I've got something here. So now, like, I'm going to jump on, like, I'm going to really pursue this business opportunity aspect of it. Is kind of what happened.
That's exactly what happened.
Yeah. What?
Yeah,
So
basically,
how did that kind of get going then? Like, what were those kind of the beginnings of your business venture with the company? Kind of what you did there when you started out.
yeah. So once I saw the results, the amazing results that I was having, my husband was having, my son, all my kids, I really just couldn't shut up about it. And I think that's just my personality. I think so many of us on this team, can relate to that. When you find something that really truly works, that's good for you, that's not toxic in any way. I think we all just kind of, we want to tell everybody. And that was my experience. I was telling everybody, people in the grocery store. If I saw somebody struggling at the gas pump, I would talk to them. Hey, have you heard about CBD oil? It was just a natural thing. And when I learned that HempWorks had this opportunity that goes along with it, I thought, of course I'm going to sign up. Of course. I had zero expectations, zero at all. I thought, well, if I make a little bit of money, I can get my oil for free. That'd be great. And it has just exploded ever since then.
Right. So I guess we would love to hear some of like your kind of tips or strategy or things that you do that you think that have made you so successful with this company.
That's such a hard one for me always. I think a big part of it starts with the passion that I have for the products. Yeah. Truly believe in these products. I truly believe in Josh and Jenna. I was fortunate enough to be at convention last year. I never got to meet them in person, although I hope to this year. But just even from the stage, I mean, they're such powerful, real, kind-hearted. I mean, they're just the real deal. And that motivated me immensely, even past what I'd already been feeling with the products. So I think it kind of starts with the passion for the products, just really feeling like everybody needs to try this. And I'm one of these people that I'm not going to just tell you, oh, you should think about it. I'm going to be like, why wouldn't you try it? Because I kind of come to it from that position because, I mean, come on, first of all, the price is very reasonable. Secondly, we have a 60-day full money back guarantee. Thirdly, this is natural from the earth, God-given plant. Why wouldn't you try this? I mean, what if the testimonies that everybody's raving about were true? What if? So I think there's a lot of passion when I talk to people. I kind of sound like an infomercial maybe on steroids or something. But I think I really loved, I heard this analogy and I love this. And I actually shared it with my team recently. And it's basically like, the air popper popcorn machines that everybody has. Well, I don't know if everybody has, but people used to have the kind where you have to put the kernels in it and like wait forever. I love this analogy because basically they talked about how, the kernels are people. And like, how when you put the kernels in and you turn it on and the heat's on and everything seems to be working, but nothing's happening, nothing's popping. And you're like, this thing's broken. I should have thrown it out years ago. When in fact, you just have to wait. You just have to be consistent. Keep the heat on and it will pop. And I love that because the people are the kernels, right? And if we're consistent and if we keep the heat on, they're going to pop. They're going to come, they're going to want to try it. And that's exactly what I found with, when I first started posting on Facebook almost a year ago, I got crickets. I got probably worse than crickets. I don't even want to know what people were saying about me. Like, she has lost her mind. What is she talking about? Mm-hmm. But I stayed consistent because I truly believe in the product. And after a while, these people started popping. And before I knew it, I had actual popcorn. I just think it's like, that's how it happened, Mm-hmm. I don't know if that answers your question, but I felt like I needed to share that analogy.
No, that was great.
I think that with my team, I think part of my success possibly has been, I've been so blessed with this amazing group of people that have surrounded and have joined me. And I really do spend a lot of time, I hope they feel this way as well, trying to pour into them. I'm always available for questions. We try to meet once a month at least for a face-to-face meeting. And that has been really, really huge for our team. If you're not doing that with your downline, I'd really encourage you to do it. Of course, we have many people that can't make it because they live in other states, and I hate that for them. But for the people that are here in this general area, just getting together every month, sharing our stories, sharing our testimonies, sharing our trials. How do you handle this? That's been really, really huge. And I think also for myself personally with my business, I pride myself in really, really good customer service. So when I have a customer who is having, for example, if they're having an issue with the website, they can't order, placing a first order or a reorder, whatever it is, I don't care, 10th order, there's an issue and they start to get frustrated. And I've been on the receiving end of that, and it is frustrating. So I get on the phone with them and I'm like, I'm going to stay on the phone with you until we get this order placed. And typically it's something simple that they're missing, like they forgot to put in United States, or, they're trying to create a new account. A lot of times I find they're trying to actually create a new account when they already had an account and they lost their username, which I can easily get that for them. And just those little kind of things seems to really, bring down their frustration. They feel like they've been helped. They get their oil, they get their order placed, and they're much more likely to reorder. And along with that, I also follow up. I feel like I'm like the queen of the follow-up. I get all up in their inbox. I'm constantly, how you doing now? How you doing now? What's going on? Let's make some adjustments. And I really have found that if you don't do that, you're so much more likely to lose that customer. Because I've had so many situations where someone's like, oh yeah, I tried it. It gave me a headache. It wasn't for me. Well, it gave me a headache too, but it's totally for me. That's a detox thing. So you just kind of need somebody to work through that kind of stuff with you. So when someone buys a bottle from me, I tell them right off the bat, I'm going to get a little annoying, just so you know, but it's for your own good. just trust me. So
I think people appreciate that, taking that, vested interest in them. Would you say that you have a large amount of customers? Like people, we're talking about, we're in the business group right now. We're live in the business group and we're talking about building our business. But I think people forget to, like, you can have affiliates, but you also have customers. And, one of the things you're talking right now is you're following up with customers. Would you say that you have a large amount of customers too? Because I feel like people get lost in that. And what percentage of your business do you think that represents? If you were to just ballpark it.
Just to guess, a huge percentage, like 70% of my business is customers. I have a massive amount of customers. And going along with that, I think with maybe 2 exceptions, almost all of my affiliates, especially my top affiliates, they were customers first. And that's completely different than how some people do their business. But for me, I feel like it all starts with a good customer experience. And what I found is when I don't stop until I get them to the point that they are just crazy like me, like loving it, telling everybody about it. And I keep making adjustments. Oh, well, it made me tired, or, I think I'm sleeping better, but I'm not sure. Well, I'm going to keep checking in with them until they say it's amazing. And then when I get that message, oh my gosh, what is this stuff? That's when I say, hey, there's an amazing business opportunity with this. You might want to consider it.
Right. And I think a lot of people don't do that. You think about, okay, they're either customers, they're affiliates, but that's not always the case. If you're checking in with somebody you talk about doing, and they have an amazing story and customer experience, it's like, hey, there's a business opportunity. You've already purchased, it's $20, and now you're an affiliate, and I think it gets overlooked so often that there's you don't have to just recruit people for your business. It can start with customers, and it can start with, just you talking about the products, and then they start using the products and they see kind of the same thing. And then that's how it can grow so much better.
Yeah. And I mean, that's a good point, because really, like for myself, I could never sell something that I didn't love. Right. And that's how I think we all are. Right. So it's like it has to start with, to me, in my mind, it has to start with a good product experience. And then from there, it can grow into whatever.
Yep. Are you using mostly Facebook, or where's a lot of your business generated from? Facebook?
Yeah, Facebook, definitely Facebook. I did for a while. I kind of meddled a little bit with Instagram, but I think I'm a little too old for Instagram, so I don't really get it. So I never really got much activity there. So I do everything on Facebook.
Yeah, customers and affiliates, it's all coming from Facebook.
Yeah, or the only other place would be my business, my massage practice.
Okay.
If they're not.
And what do you do with that?
So if someone comes to see me for a massage, when they come to see me, I don't care what's wrong with them, CBD is going to help. And that's just the way it
Yeah.
is. And it's not
Yeah.
me being salesy, it's me being honest.
Yeah.
When you think about why people go for a massage, it's inflammation of some form or pain of some form. And that could even be emotional pain, anxiety, things like that. They
Yeah.
need to relax, they need to de-stress. They have frozen shoulder, they have all these things that potentially could be helped with something that's very highly anti-inflammatory. So pretty much
And so,
go ahead.
yeah, keep going. Go ahead.
I was just going to say, pretty much anybody that comes to see me, whatever their issue is, I did have a lady yesterday, Saturday, that I actually did not mention CBD oil. I asked her if she'd heard about it because I wanted to let her know that I had CBD oil massage as an offering. She was very uninterested, and I let it go. But that's very unusual. Most people, if I say, "Have you heard of CBD?" they don't usually shut me down, kind of like she did. So that brings me right into, and I will make it applicable to whatever it is that they're dealing with. You know, this is your issue. Well, this is how this oil can help. And that goes to something that I really harp on with my team as well, which is that I really feel like as an affiliate, you need to do your job, do your part to be the best educated person in the room on CBD. Because they're looking to us for the answers. That doesn't mean we have to know it all, because there's a whole bunch of stuff that I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
The numbers, like when people get into how many milligrams per drop and comparing different CBD companies, I really don't do well with that at all. Fortunately, I have a couple people on my team that rock at that. That's not my thing.
Yeah.
But as far as what CBD is, where we get it, how it's farmed, what makes hempworks better, what's in our products, the applications, what it can help with, how it can help, why isn't it working, all that stuff, I just delve into that, and I really try to become the most educated person in the room about it. And I think that really helps. People maybe can feel that.
Yeah, and I think that's something we've talked about kind of in our business trainings since we've started doing this, is just becoming your own expert and really diving into it, taking value in learning about the products and then expanding on what CBD can do, all the things, so that you're essentially become kind of like a walking encyclopedia of knowledge.
Yeah.
This question I'm going to ask you, because I just thought of this, because you mentioned your own kind of outside business that you have. And one of the things that I've been telling people lately is you don't understand how much potential there is in these businesses outside of, you don't need to just do Facebook. Like if you were to walk in to a chiropractic place, a massage place, whenever I'm in one of these places, I notice the shelves and all of the things that they're selling. Now, how many of those things that they're selling really do something, really don't do this, I don't know. But CBD to me would be the first thing that like they should have.
That's right.
So, people should be going into these businesses and they should be trying to talk to people, because this is something that should be carried in a lot of these places.
Agreed. Yeah.
And so, if somebody were to come into you and you hadn't done, CBD, like what kind of things would you want them to, I mean, people ask me this, like, what do I say? What do I bring? Like, what do I talk to them about? And it's like, all the things that we mention on a daily basis, what the products can do, what's great about hempworks, where we source our CBD from, what CBD does, all these kind of things, because they might not know. But what I feel like we've gotten to the point is that people have heard CBD. They might not know everything about it, but it's to the point where it's becoming so popular that at least they're like, okay, I've heard about that. And
Definitely.
then you have an opportunity to at least discuss them maybe carrying the products in their business.
Yep. I have a new affiliate who just signed recently with us, and she owns her own pet. Is it pet grooming? She's a pet sitter. And I was just talking with her yesterday, and that's exactly what I was telling her. I'm like, she's like, I don't have a lot of time to be on Facebook. I'm working, a lot. And I said, I understand, but this is how. And my advice to her was basically, you have this pet who you see and who you care for regularly, who is struggling to get up and down the back stairs, or get up and down any stairs, or get up and off the furniture, whatever the story is. There's something going on with the hips. I would send a note to that owner and be like, hey, I just want to let you know, I just started this new venture with this new company. I found these products. They are amazing. You will not believe the testimonies for pets similar to what, Rocco is dealing with. And, you should really check it out. If you want some more information, let me know. So I think that whatever you do, I haven't found anybody that can't benefit from this. So whatever you do, you can find a way. You just maybe have to get a little creative with it.
I'm so glad that you mentioned what you just mentioned, because and again, just proves the point that there are so many different aspects of this business. The pet products aren't entirely it could be an entirely separate business. And if you look at how many places do pet grooming or pet supplies or whatever they're selling, and we love our pets. We love our animals. In fact, the products that I've given to my dog have changed his life. So there's so many avenues to be successful in ways where people need to hear about CBD, and they just need to hear about the opportunity. Maybe they say no, but that's, what's the worst thing? They're going to say no, and then, whatever. It's not going to hurt you any. Before we got on here, we were talking about some of the events you have coming up, and if you could mention kind of some of the other things that you do outside of Facebook, outside of your business, just like you had mentioned a few of them.
So tomorrow night, I'm going with an affiliate of mine. It's her deal. I'm just there to do whatever I can to support her, but it's at a salon here in town. And the ladies, there's two ladies, the owner and one of her hairstylists has signed up to be affiliates on our team. So we're having kind of a CBD oil 101 class at the salon.
Yeah.
And the plan is, we're just going to do a little bit of information, what it is, how it can help, why you might want to look into this. And then we're going to open it up for questions and answers and hopefully get some people ordering that, tomorrow night. Yeah. That's tomorrow night. And then at the end of the month, I'm doing a vending event at our local mall. And it's a women's expo. So vending events are not my thing. But I know the oil, and I know that I know people, and so I'm going to go, and I'm going to do the very best I can to get a bunch of people signed up there too.
Yeah, and so there's all kinds of avenues and opportunities where you just talk to people, and that's the thing is something like that. You're just talking with people, and what people will find, I feel like, is that people have a lot in common. You're going to hear, oh yeah, that I have issues with that, or I need, I could use that, and it's like it can be easier than people make it out to be.
I think it's really just being willing to have a conversation, and that's why you and I were talking before we started, and I don't do Facebook Lives typically, and if I do, I'm a nervous wreck about it. Like all day, I've been nervous today just because it's not my thing, and I think I've discovered it's because I can't see who I'm talking to, and it really drives me crazy. But if I can see them, I will talk to them, and I will tell them, and I'll probably convince them before we're done, hopefully, why they need it. But it's and so you just find what works for you, like you were mentioning, there's so many people in this business that have just knocked it out of the park with Facebook Live. And I think that's amazing. That is not my scene. I will do them when I need to, but for me, I do much better person to person.
Right. And so it's finding what works best for you. And if something doesn't work, don't get discouraged. You try something different, because I've always felt like just with how much people can benefit from these products, that if your goal is to be successful too with the business side, you can be. It's just you have to find your style, what's going to work for you, what you're comfortable with. You can't force something that's not there for yourself. So if you're like, I just can't do live videos or I can't do whatever, then don't do it. Don't do it. But whatever you are comfortable with and whatever you think will make you successful, then you need to go after that, and you need to go after it as hard as you can. Quit being so complacent with things. Like if you want to be successful, it's there and it's waiting for you.
You got it. And that brings me to another thing I thought of too, is just talking to people who, you're going to get messages from affiliates who are like, this isn't working for me. I don't know how, I've tried everything. But when you really kind of pull that conversation a little bit further, you can find they're actually not trying everything. They may try a few things, and then they get discouraged and they kind of get stuck in that place. But one of the things that I love is exactly like we just said. There is no one right or wrong way. There's no certain perfect formula. One of my it rocked my world at convention is when I heard, and I believe it was Kristen Butler, but don't quote me, who said on stage, I don't follow up with people. She's like, I don't have time for that. She said, I never follow up ever with anybody. And I sat there and I thought, what? How is that? And here she is. Whatever her rank is. I'm like, what? So it just goes to show there is no right or wrong way. You've got to find a way that works, and you can do it. It's that simple. Yeah.
One of the last things I want to ask you, because I think you have a great model for what you do, but you just made $50K last month, but you've done it so consistently. You hit you hit, executive, and then your 5K, 10K, 25, where you didn't kind of really, I don't think you jumped over any of those. You hit each one, and what are we in, month 10?
Yeah, it's month 10.
Month 10.
It was
so
9.
just, I think there's something to be said for just being consistent, because I know that just in talking with some of our other people in our business group, we find that there are a lot of people that can get to that 1K or 2K or maybe even 3K, and they kind of stay there for a while, where once you kind of get to that, I feel like 5K, even that first kind of major rank, is kind of like a launching point where momentum really starts to build. So I don't know if you kind of felt like that, or if there's anything you could say to those people to kind of get them to that first kind of marker, whatever you want to say as far as being consistent and how you kind of have advanced through the company.
Yeah, I think that's exactly what I found. For me, it was 3K. Like the 3K seemed to be that plateau. Once I was at 3K, and I've seen this with a few people on my team as well, it's almost like it starts to snowball at that point. And I think it's exactly what we talked about, just being consistent. Do not get frustrated. If you are frustrated, reach out, because there's so many amazing leaders on this team that can help you. One of the things that I like to do with my team is, if they're in a spot where they're like, I'm stuck, this isn't working, they're ready to throw in the towel, let's get on the phone and let's talk this through, and I ask them, what do you do during the day? Where do you go? And really we want to know, where are you meeting new people? Because that's what this is. This business is a numbers game, and we've got to be meeting new people. We've got to be connecting with new people. You're not going to advance if you're and it's great to serve the ones you have, and I very much believe in that, but you've got to be expanding. So when people tell me it's not going to work for me, I don't like it, I can't do it, my question is, how many new people did you talk to today? How many new people did you talk to yesterday? Well, I don't know new people. I can't find, they're everywhere. People are people. We're everywhere, Get out there, join some groups, join some groups on Facebook, join some real life groups, start taking a class in your town. I mean, there's people everywhere. Go meet some people, and you will find it will help your business. And I mean, that's just, I think that's just where we're at with it. You've got to constantly be expanding your network.
Yep, I would completely agree.
And reach out. Use us as leaders, use the leaders in the group, because we're here. We're happy to help. I don't care if you're not necessarily in my downline. If there's something I can do to help you, reach out to me. I'm happy to do it.
And I've always said, like, the real amazing thing that I've seen with HempWorks isn't just like, we have this amazing team. We have this amazing Hempire team that's strong. But if you go outside of that, there are people that are still willing to help you, even if they have no affiliation with you. Like, it's amazing how strong just the HempWorks team is in general. So if you need something, like, reach out to your upline, message me. If I can't help you, I'll introduce you to the next person. We'll go to Sealy, and so on and so forth, and we'll find the next person, and we'll find somebody that hopefully will help you with getting you where you need to go, or giving you some advice, or whatever it needs to be that you have questions with. But there are avenues for you to get help, for sure.
And sometimes just, it may just be a situation where you just need to hear somebody else to say what you already know to be true. You know what I mean?
Right.
You might just need somebody else to kind of mull it over with you and be like, oh yeah, okay, I'll do that,
Right. Absolutely. Well, I think that's all I have for questions. I really want to thank you for taking time out of tonight and coming on here. People, I'm sure we're excited to hear from you.
Thank you. I appreciate it. It was fun.
Yeah. So in closing, me and Candy were talking before we started. I just want to remind everyone, it's, I don't know, what are we out now, 5-6 months, but convention is coming, and you want to be there. Like, this is something I can tell you that it's an experience that you want to have, not only for kind of building your team, if you want to have your team come, but just learning more about CBD, learning more about HempWorks, building stronger networks, meeting, leaders, meeting the owners, hopefully, if you have that chance. But just, it's an experience that you definitely want to be part of. So I would encourage everyone to kind of really, if you're serious about this, like, take the leap, get your ticket, book your travel plans, whatever the case may be, but just come to convention this year.
I totally agree. I was so thankful to go. I had no idea what I was walking into when I got there, and it was amazing. So definitely, it just takes the business to a whole new level.
Right. And it's just getting bigger and better. And like, if you were there last year, I think we had 3,000. We're going to have, we're going to have 10, 20, 30,000 people this year. It's going to be amazing. Like, you definitely don't want to miss this. So,
Such a fun group of people. I think,
yeah,
Chris, you probably saw it as well. I don't care where I went. I loved everybody in that room. And that is
yeah,
unusual for me. There are
yeah,
these
it
people
is.
that it's like, I go to a ball game or a whatever, or something with a lot of people and I'm like, ugh.
No, and
But
no, I
these
feel
were
the
my
same
people.
thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. The energy that was there was something that I've definitely heard from other people, was something that, that was one of
Yeah.
the most positive things that they took away, was just the energy in the room. So,
Yeah.
all
Yeah.
right. Well, that's going to wrap up tonight. Thanks again, Candy,
Thank
and
you.
everybody have a good night.
All right.
Bye.
Take care. Bye.